does a good job. Oh!
And Zion just from Morant on the draw and just erupts over the top of Baines for the right-hand slam. My goodness.
Hello and welcome back to the Press Zone Podcast. I'm John Pulowski. This is Ty Kane.
Today, we come at you with our college basketball preview, where we will tier the top conferences.
A lot of tiers.
And we will also tier the teams inside each conference.
Tierception. Hopefully you can stay with us through the whole thing.
So, our conferences today are the Big 12, the SEC, the Pac-12, the ACC, the Big 10, and the Big East.
The Power Six, really.
Basically, right. The six most prominent conferences in the country.
In America. That's the country. And speaking of country, we're going to locate it in the southeast of the country. The
Tier
worst
3.
conference.
Tier 3.
Worst power conference, in my opinion.
The SEC, and of course, the third tier of the SEC, we start at the bottom.
It's bad.
There's a lot of teams in there. Because the SEC is extremely top-heavy, and that's nothing new.
It's really the deep south. If you're in Mississippi, if you're in Missouri, if you're in South Carolina,
Exactly.
you're not good.
Missouri, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Georgia,
A&M, the buzzsaw,
South
Buzz
Carolina,
Williams, has not
Vanderbilt.
taken off yet.
And so within each tier, we're gonna introduce a little segment. Mm-hmm. And for these third tier teams, it'll be called
Crown the Clown.
Crown the Clown.
That's what we're gonna
And out of these teams, it's got to be Vanderbilt because
No doubt.
our guy Jerry Stackhouse is the coach.
Yep.
And they're just pumping out lottery picks, but they're the worst team in the conference year after year.
Listen, just Darius Garland, welcome to the NBA.
Right.
Tonight, actually, draft night, super
Aaron
excited to
Naismith.
watch.
Aaron Naismith.
Some guy there this year is going to shoot 1 billion threes, going to take every shot, and Kevin O'Connor is going to say, oh, this guy's got the potential to be a real NBA piece. He probably won't. He'll end up on a bad team and rot.
Exactly. But as we move up to the second tier, LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Florida, and Arkansas. Teams who, well, they'll beat the teams that they should, but will they beat the top teams?
Yeah, the second tier is
Maybe
really...
occasionally. They'll just beat up on each other and then lose in the conference semifinals. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Second tier is guys fighting to get into the tournament.
Right, and now our little segment here is going to be called Pain or Gain.
Pain or gain. Because really, it can be
It
can be a really, really
Right.
terrible season if you get castrated early, get your legs cut out onto you.
They could
Expectations
They
are
can be
here.
talented, or
Untalented.
it could be pain or gain. And our
Self-explanatory.
team here is Auburn.
Yep.
Because
Bruce
Bruce Pearl. Man, we love Bruce Pearl.
We do.
Great coach. Sharif Cooper. It might be pain. It may very well be pain.
There may be a lot of pain
Exactly.
in Auburn, Alabama this year, but there can also be gain. They got a great program down there. Charles Barkley has been ringing his endorsement out across the hills.
Right. Now, of course, we move up to the top tier of the SEC, which is, like usual, the Kentucky Wildcats, the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yep.
And here we will do top or flop. And this is a
Top or
team that will either win their conference or won't win the conference, and they'll be mediocre.
In terms of our top or flop team of the day, the only 10 I see, Tennessee Volunteers, are going to be a really fun team to watch this
Right.
year. And Kentucky will too, but I don't know. We're very anti-blue blood on this program, and we're going to make that pretty prevalent
Exactly.
with some of our picks today. I was just looking at
Yeah.
these.
All right. Another tier 3 conference. You want to give it to them?
The Pac-12.
Out west. Conference of Champions, as Bill Walton likes to say.
The only conference that's numbered that actually has the right amount of teams in it.
Right.
Shout out to him for that.
Right.
What do we got here? Like Oregon State, Washington State, Cal, Utah, and Washington.
Right.
Our
Crown the clown.
the clown
Crown
that
it.
we are crowning is Mike Hopkins. Congratulations,
Washington.
Mike. You could have stayed in Syracuse.
Could have stayed in the
had a great
Q's.
program.
Could have took over for Jimmy. But instead, you chose to go out west. And how'd that work out for you last year? Dead last. In probably the worst conference out of these 6.
If he won last year, he would have got recruits, but he didn't win. And
He took Isaiah Stewart from Syracuse. He had Jaden McDaniels. And they stunk.
Look, Mike Hopkins sat down all the recruits this year and he said, look, I can't promise you March or that we'll win more than 10 games. And they said,
Right.
what? We're going to UCLA. But some other teams here in the Pac-12, Stanford, USC, Colorado, and Arizona.
Yeah.
Some mid teams, maybe bubble teams.
Or
come
pain or
March.
gain here. Pain or gain.
Pain or gain. Stanford.
Stanford. Jared Haas.
Christmas trees. What are they called?
Cardinal.
Cardinals.
Stanford Cardinal.
Yep.
Zaire Williams. Kid's going to be a star. Oscar Da Silva. Maybe the best big man in the Pac-12.
I love Oscar Da Silva.
But that's our pain or gain team in the Pac-12. Now, the top tier of the Pac-12, 3 teams,
Cream of the crop.
cream of the crop,
The cream will rise.
UCLA, Arizona State,
Bruins.
Oregon. And our top or flop, without question,
It's
Arizona State.
Because
Because,
boom or bust.
right, their guards, phenomenal. But they could also be atrocious.
There's a chance that they absolutely start. I think they can start out like 13-0 to start the year, and then all of a sudden they
absolutely.
lose.
They get
every
deeper
game
into
in
the Pac-12 and finish with a record of 18-7, 16-9.
There's a great chance we're looking up in February, and Utah is up by 12 on Arizona
Right.
with a minute left, and we go, what happened?
Yep.
What happened, Jacob? Josh Christopher.
JG up.
JG up, that's what his thing is?
I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to say it.
We don't know. Tell us, Josh
Either way,
Christopher. Come on
move
the
into
program.
the Tier 2 conferences. And we start with the Big 12. The Big 12, the bottom of the Big 12, like usual, Kansas State, TCU, and Oklahoma and Iowa State are down there.
Down
And
here.
our crown the clown, Iowa State.
Okay,
Look, a few years ago, Iowa State wasn't bad, man. They were getting 4 seeds, 5 seeds in the NCAA tournament. They were always your pick to lose to the 12 seed, but they were still
Always.
getting
We
those
know.
seeds.
We know. They would always win, like,
Right.
they were the ultimate win games you need to team.
Exactly.
But they don't have it. They ran out of juice. The train,
Exactly.
the Cyclone train has run out of steam,
Yep.
as we like to say.
And that's why they are crown
Yeah,
clown.
they're a clown even over a team last year that got in a brawl with Kansas and then lost like their last 8 games of the
Yeah.
year.
Now we move up to the second tier, Oklahoma State, Texas, West Virginia, and Texas Tech. Who is our pain or gain team? Texas Tech. Chris
No doubt.
Beard. Chris Beard, we're big fans. Why don't you join
Huge.
us? We got to see for you.
Come on the program.
Look,
Mac McClung.
Mac McClung. We're
We
Mac
don't
McClung
know.
fans now.
We're Mac McClung fans now. It's like an abusive relationship.
It really
where
is.
He abused Syracuse a couple times.
Yep.
But Syracuse's behinds were red. But we'll get to the Syracuse minute in a minute. Now he's a Red Raider.
Yeah.
Ties it all together.
Look.
Mac McClung enters the transfer university, I guess.
Right. Now we move up to the top tier. It's simple. Baylor and Kansas.
We don't like blue bloods here. Go
Right.
screw yourself, Bill Self. Oh, I did something there.
Top or flop?
Baylor.
Top
Baylor
or flop is Baylor.
is the top.
Because
or
look,
flop.
this Baylor team, they could be the best team in the country, or they could be
They could not.
mediocre.
What do you choose, Baylor? Are you going to finally rid the Big 12 of the monster that is Kansas that wins every year?
Right. Get out of the little brother syndrome, where Kansas dominates them year after year. We'll see.
Yep.
And we're excited to see
Oh,
it.
God, we love Baylor so much.
We do.
It's going to blow.
Now, another tier 2 team, the Big East Conference. The Big East basketball. Doesn't get better.
It's back. The Big East is back.
It nearly is.
We're saying it right now. The Big East
Now
is
look,
back.
the bottom, we don't talk about the bottom. DePaul, St. John's, Butler, and Georgetown. And of course, is there any question that our crown the clown isn't going to be Georgetown?
It's
Is there
Comedy
anything
gold.
is there anything we enjoy more than watching the Georgetown Hoyas lose again?
It is comedy gold. Last year when they played Syracuse, I think like half of their team was convicted of a felony.
Yeah.
Everybody transferred out of there, and Patrick Ewing.
He's on
I
the verge
believe-
of losing his job.
Patrick Ewing, I think, came on air and said, I think he predicted his team to finish last.
Yeah, he said I would pick us last too.
Which maybe that's lighting the fire a little bit, but I still think it's unbelievably funny that a coach would say, don't expect much
Right.
from us this year.
Right.
We're Georgetown.
Moving up. Wow. A lot of
Xavier.
teams here. A lot of teams here.
Marquette.
Xavier, Marquette.
Province, Seton Hall, some
UConn.
storied programs in here. And, of course, we're going to pick the UConn Huskies.
have to be our painter game. We are on the UConn bandwagon.
It-
You're always welcome to join us.
We talk about stuff blowing up in our faces. This is a guarantee blow up in our face moment. This is a guarantee
Right.
pain.
Look, James Booknight. God, we love that kid.
Oh, and
Mostly me.
Hurley.
Mostly me. I love James Booknight.
I'm a big fan of James Booknight. Super athletic. I
Right.
love that part of his game.
Now we move up to the top tier in the Big East. It's just
Cream.
2 teams. It's Creighton and
Right.
Villanova.
Villanova is a borderline blue blood school, so we picked Creighton.
Creighton's our top or flop. We're big Marcus Zagorowski fans. We think he's going to be the best player in that conference. Arguably even the best player in the country.
My favorite part about Creighton is they're going to have a great season this year, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, we're big Greg McDermott fans too.
But I also can bet a lot of money that they're going to lose to one of these bottom tier teams we listed. Them going into Butler that has like 90% capacity there.
Yep.
Doesn't look good. Creighton always loses those games. It's kind of funny. And on to our second tier.
First tier.
Well, our first tier, but our second tier of the first tier.
Right.
Tierception, we already said. I'm going to put the ACC.
Yeah, it's got to be the ACC.
Gotta
And look, the bottom of the ACC, Notre Dame, Wake Forest, Boston College, Pittsburgh.
Notre Dame
Crown
lost.
the clown. We could crown them all, really. But we're going to go with Notre Dame because Mike Bray.
It's going to be a fight all year to see who the clown is. They're going to be honking their noses, getting into little cars, and I believe Notre Dame is going to emerge from the clown car fully draped in clown attire.
Precisely.
John Mooney's gone. You have no hope. Right. There is no good recruits on this team. I don't think they don't have a top 100 recruit on the team. I don't know if they have a top 1,000 recruit on the team.
Yep.
Ian Crouch, go walk on to Notre Dame. Tier 2 of Tier 1 of Tier 2. Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, NC State, Syracuse, Clemson, Miami, and Louisville. Before we get our pain or gain team out for this tier, we're going to do the Syracuse Minute.
It's our newest segment.
I wish I had a little horn to
Every
sound.
time we talk college basketball, maybe once a week, we'll do the Syracuse Minute, and we will start in 2, 1, Syracuse Minute. What do we think this year?
I feel like this is going to be the most basic Syracuse year that you can have.
Definitely.
It's going to be cliche.
Coach Boeheim's already got the COVID. We're saying our prayers to you, Coach.
Come on the show.
Definitely come on.
Jim Boeheim is not scared of the coronavirus. He will never be scared of anything. If
he dies, he dies.
If he were to die, he would have something snappy and prickly written on his gravestone.
Precisely.
He's a borderline jerk, and it's why he fits in so well in Syracuse.
You know, and just like our guys Titus and Tate said, he wet his pants on the sideline. He'll be all right.
Yeah, the fact that you can rebound from something like that, he's a better rebounder than City.
Right, but anyways, this team, they got to try and make the tournament this year.
Look, the backcourt might be the best in the entire ACC.
It is.
It may not be.
Gerard and Boeheim, high expectations this year.
Yeah, they have the white backcourt that shoots a lot of threes.
Right.
It's as upstate New York as they come by, and I think that'll do it for the Syracuse Minute, but...
Whew. All right, but anyways, all these teams in the Tier 2 of the ACC, it's just a bunch of teams who are going to be fighting to get those, maybe 4 of them, I'd say, if they're good.
I think one of the worst teams out of this group is Georgia Tech because
Michael DeVoe
is sick.
That's our pain of gain because we love Michael DeVoe, and even more importantly, we love Josh Pastner.
Michael DeVoe puts up some stinkers, but he also puts up some pretty good games.
Yeah, Josh Pastner. I think Josh Pastner might be my favorite coach in the country.
He's up there. We're gonna have a lot of fun making fun of Georgia Tech this year.
He's an interesting guy. Now we get to the top tier: Duke, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida State. Nothing new there, and obviously our top or flop has got to be Florida State.
We are on the Florida State bandwagon.
We are on top of the Leonard Hamilton bandwagon.
We are on top of Leonard Hamilton. He is on top. He's going to be on top of the ACC, and we will be on top of him. It will be a human centipede of tears.
He's about to have 2 guys go in the lottery, so why not back it up by winning the ACC?
Florida State is becoming a blue blood. They're going to change their colors pretty soon. They're going to end up looking like the Whitesboro Warriors in a couple of years.
Precisely.
But right now we have
final conference. This is going to be a fun conference all year.
The biggest conference.
The Big 10, or maybe the Big 14, we should call it.
We're calling it the Big 14.
The Big 10 with 14 teams. The bottom of it, Minnesota, Northwestern, Nebraska, Purdue, Penn State, and Maryland. And
bad teams here.
Crown the clown, give it to him.
I wanted to give it to you, was it Randy Pitino? Richard Pitino?
Richard
Pitino, I'm sorry. But
it has to go to Maryland.
Aaron Wiggins. I'm mixing up.
He may shoot 40 shots a game, and maybe 7 of them will go in.
He's awesome. The rest of the team is not. They lost a ton of assets.
Yep.
And as we move on, we have another team that lost a lot of assets. Ohio State mixed in with Indiana, Michigan, and Rutgers. There's no doubt in either of our minds. With pain or gain, we are riding or dying with the Scarlet Knights.
Right. I'm a huge Geo Baker fan. You ask me who my 2 favorite players in the country are, it's James Bouknight and Geo Baker. And there's no way around
Yeah,
it.
Ron Harper Jr. taking awkward shots.
Right.
They're building the program in Rutgers, and this is, I think, year 2 of what's eventually going to turn them into a Big Ten powerhouse.
Hopefully. And look, we finish it off here in the Big Ten
The
with
top tier of the
the
top,
top tier, the top 4, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Iowa, and of course, our top or flop team, Illinois, who we rank number 4, right? 4? 4 in our
believe so.
preseason rankings. And
You'd assume was
there's almost
sick.
100% chance it comes back to bite us. Because,
There is little to no doubt that Illinois is going to be the team here that drops.
Yeah.
Because I think Indiana or Rutgers can rise. The
Yep.
cream will rise. And
cream will rise.
we think that Illinois is not very creamy this year,
Right.
even though...
Oh, we think they're creamy.
Yeah, we think they're creamy, but they're not going to be creamy. They're going to be like fake cream. They're going to be whipped cream when you shake up the body. You think there's a
Yeah.
lot in it, and it's like it
Liquidy.
sprays out, liquidy. It's,
Liquidy residue.
I mean, you can still shoot it up your. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Everything's tiered.
Everything's tiered. The tiers are tiered. I'm going to shed some tears. College basketball starts 1
Very
week
soon.
from today.
Very soon.
NBA draft is tonight. We're going to go watch that.
We'll see you guys on the
And-
flip side, suckers. Like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.